To build this fine vessel, it's pretty simple and looks exactly like that. Because it is just the one level, the one layer, I could utilize this even though it's fallen on the ground. And so I'll do that. Let's get rid of this for a second. Don't even need any extra. Don't need an extra CPU. That was only for the guns. Alright, I need that one. That's me tool. Alright, so what do we need to build this vessel? Well, we need the good components, right? So there's my two components. So what I want a fuel tank. Alright, I could go a larger fuel tank, holds more fuel. Definitely useful, but do I need it? No, not at the moment. Right, so small generator. So you look at the energy output. So energy out is 2.5 thousand PU. So 2,500 PU, right? And uses 312 CPU. This one's always useful. A detector doesn't use much energy to run. Uses a little bit of CPU, but not too much compared to a lot of turrets, mobile turrets. They can use a lot of CPU. But this is what you're really working with energy in, so energy required to actually utilize the item, and CPU to run the item. So those two are your main two restrictions. Yeah, so you have to consider those. So okay, so we've got a fuel tank done. Small Jenny, that's all I need for this one. Right, so I need thrusters. Let's get some small thrusters. So I need 6 of those. I need a chair. Because how am I going to drive this thing? Right, so fuel, so generator, gives me power for thrusters, and a chair. Right, and I've already got the core, starter core, right, that I need. Actually kick it in. This way I've already got it over there, but that's what I would be using. What other items? Well, I guess the niceties. The next biggest thing would be this, right? So the RCS. And the short version of what this does is it allows you to have faster actions on your vessel. So we'll take this for a spin. So we've got our little vessel here. Let's go F5. My drone, so I can build this up. Alright, so I'm going to put my seat out the front. So what I'm going to do is get rid of that. This is the front. I'm going to put my fuel tank here. And that's by design because the fuel tank itself does not react. I could actually stick my seat on top if I'm not too close to the CPU, but I'll chuck it there. There's different versions. I could chuck that sort of one, but it looks like I'm sort of floating. Not a problem though. It's got like some nice screens. Looks like it's actually pretty interesting. The other one they had there looked like a motorbike, but it doesn't really matter which one you pick there. They're all pretty similar. Hit points. Not going to play too much into it, like and weight. Again, not going to play too much into it. So if you go that one, that's like a bit more of a full-on desky thing. But yeah, if you're building like the, I guess, old style Enterprise or whatever, you might use that one. But this one I think looks pretty cool and does the job. All right, so generator. I need that. Best to keep that as possible, so I'll rotate that with the N key. Again, so if I hit delete, I change the rotation point that it drives on, so I can actually put it like that. So it's flat point against that. And let's have it like that, so I can actually see the rotating bits when it's on from my seat. That might look a bit more cool. Alright, so that's cool. Yeah, what else do we need? Oh, thrusters. So we've got fuel, generator, and thrusting. So we want to go up, down, left, right. Alright, so being that this is off center, let's just rotate that so we can go right to left, up to down. Could probably go that's backwards. Left side. Let's make this a little bit. Right side. So left, right, backwards. Forwards. So we're driving on that the same aspect there. So forwards versus backwards. Left to right's a little off center, but that'll be fine. So we got up and down, right? So I can go. Oh, well, I'm going to put up and down. Alright, so that's got the thruster facing down. That'll be okay there. And thruster facing up, well. Nothing saying I can't put it on the back there. Alright, so thrust up, thrust down, thrust left, thrust right, thrust forward, thrust backwards. That's essentially your vessel, right? So you don't really need anything else than that. That is bare minimum. Right, so let's just change that over to 9. Let's just jump in this fine vessel. Give it some fuel. Alright, so it's gonna go over to here. Another control panel. Go to fuel and just gonna top them up. I'm gonna come back to the control panel and I'm gonna turn him on. Alright, and I'm gonna F to get back off it. Alright, so we see our thrusters going there in idle mode. Jenny's turning. Thruster. 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 And thruster. And we've got one down there you can't see. But let's just walk into that. That doesn't look very nice, does it? Yes, you can put something over the top of it. It doesn't really affect what it's doing, but yeah, it should. Alright, so what we have here is a vessel that can go up, down, left, right, forwards, backwards. Right, pretty quickly too. Alright, down. Right, up, down. A slight tilt because on angle, but it's a little bit uncontrollable, and that is because we don't have an RCS on this thing. Alright, so we're relying purely on the thrusting. Right, so we give it a tap, little tap, little tap, little tap the other way. Come on. That doesn't matter. We'll just pull it under. There we go. Land this down. Alright, I'm going to F that, so, alright, so I'm off. So I really need something to give this a shake, so yes, that would work, but if you really want this to work properly, you want one of these as well. Right, so movement was pretty hard to deal with. Just give me another solid edge on this side. Reason being, like actually look at that, there's a gap. So that doesn't really matter because essentially that can't seal. Yep. Alright, so let's bring this up again. I'll make this a bit more aesthetically pleasing, that'll do. Alright, so I can check that out. Okay, so same vessel, include now RCS. If we have a look, and this time we go into devices. Alright, that's our devices listing. I can group them by their groups. Have a bit more control. Signal logic we don't need to worry about. CPU usage. Our single tier CPU core gives us up to 200,000 there. So that's absolutely plenty for what we're doing right now. If we had guns, then we need to add an extra tier CPU extender, which will give us a bit more control for that ability. But we don't need to worry about that today. Alright, so we're already powered, we've already got fuel. So if I go up now, the control is a lot smoother. Right, if I hit V, I'm actually outside mode. So with the addition of the RCS module, I tend to like to put them closer to being centralized to the vessel. Unless you've got more than one, of course you can put more than one in there. They'll give you even more movement. This gives you a lot of freedom of movement, a lot more control. So that's why that's in my minimal build, is to have that as well. Right, of course, at the moment we can't go into space because we're not airtight. The vessel itself, essentially, I'm breathing the air on the planet, and that's not sealable. So that's not a good spot for this vessel if I want to keep it airtight. So I want to have an airtight module that's connected to my seat on the side of it. That's not going to do it for me, which means I can't take this vessel in space with that there. Fuel tank. Yeah, so that's a problem. I could put a light there, but then I've got to put this here somewhere as well, so extending it out. So I can't do 3 by 3. If I bring that forwards. Right, so we will remove this thruster. That's what I'm thinking. Alright, so I can't thrust backwards. Remove RCS. I'm going to put the RCS unit here. Alright, because that's not airtight, I'm going to put a light. Actually, I need to put a thruster. Put a thruster here. That thruster will be facing out, but I think that's going to be a problem because I'm probably too close to that thruster, and that thruster is going to have radiation coming from it, so we'll check that out. So I'll put a light one here, and I'm just going to put that there. Oh yeah, so let that be some light. Now, back to V again. No, it looks like that's not going to be a problem. Right, so forwards, backwards, left, right. Okay, cool. Yeah, that'll work. V, let's land this thing. Alright. Now, to keep the weight down, or I could, keep the weight down, I could actually go the combat steel blocks, as we know, and just put a little bit of extra protection over me as a pilot, because I suppose I'm pretty easy to shoot, and that would be a problem. I don't want to go carbon. If I go carbon 7, F5 to go drone. Now, so look at this thing. So let's just shoot like a panel. You can see that there if I rotate it. If I flatten that, put it down there, boom, like that. That is a airtight seal, which is exactly what we want. Let's be drone. Go on over here. Go to this gas listen. Go up a little bit. Hop off. I can flick this over and put that down there. Essentially, I've now got a box. How do we get into it? The good question. Can I do this? Right. Kill two birds with one stone. If I take an automatic door, so the variations of that. Airtight no, airtight no, airtight no. So unfortunately it looks like the ones that are airtight aren't the ones with glass that you can see through. So that would be a problem. Alright, so that means that for flying this vessel, see with the door open. Okay. And now that's airtight. But you think the problem's all sorted out now? No. We have one more thing to think about. What about the oxygen? Okay, let's land this thing. And rotate. And round. Alright. A little bit crooked. A little bit crooked because this there counts as a single block. So even though I can only see that, essentially that block is the same as this block, which is why the vessel landed like that. Right? It doesn't have a look, but it does have that. So you can do a cool effect by doing that. If I can get a half block rather than a little panel block, and I throw that up there. Right, for instance, put those there, let's get rid of this thing. Let's put a half panel block there, sealed. Half panel block there. Effect. And this is my first vehicle. There you go, not that one. Right, I'm in. So get that like that for a second. Hop on out. Oh, look at that. Hard to get around those screens, so not a good design. But I wanted to show you this. So half a block. Half a block. Right, so you can see that the thrusting is coming through the block there. And vessel wise, there we go. So I land up and down. Done. Right, so I land. You get this cool effect. It's like speeder. So you can sort of see under it. But that's actually flat because that's a full-size block. Right, so full-size block comparison. Right, so it's really that, but you can't see that extra bit. Or you could do it a little higher and actually have that like that thinner block, which is this plane. Essentially do it that way. One thing to note is, of course, if I jump on 3 blocks there, you can see this. Come back to my tool. So hit points 200, half block, hit points 150, little thin, hit points 125. So if you want the look, it's not too bad, right? It's you know, 200 there, little thin block, and you still got more than half the hit points. So it's not too bad when you consider it. You could just go like, okay, I want this one here, and I'm going to just put a protective cover over everything. Right, thrusting's still coming out of it. that'll make a difference. Ah, looks seems the light's actually coming through that as well. So you can cover the light and give the light. Yeah, there's the light. See the torch effect. So essentially, now I've got a bit of carbon protection around my minimal vessel. And like, okay, when you think about it, it's pretty quick. We can add something else. So we need set oxygen. We don't have oxygen, and we don't have. So we need oxygen tank, which we don't have, and we could also use a detector, which will help us detect different objects, places of interest, points of interest. There's a small O2 tank, let's grab that. We don't need the lights anymore, so let's just chuck them over there. And that's the O2 tank, and we're going to go with, where are we? Detector. Alright. So I go, alright, let's chuck a oxygen tank against the petrol. Makes sense. Alright. I'm going to say detector, I'm going to say chuck it there. It's going to be a very hot detector, it's getting a bit of burnt, but you know, up against one thruster and there you go. Alright, so chuck that over there, chuck that over there. Seal it up. Combat situation. Alright. So now, bottom of the vehicle, vessel, got carbon protection all around, and I've got the detector now in my hot bar. So with one pressed, I hit the L detector, have a look around, did it hit anything, did it find anything? Oh, found all those, but essentially we already knew those are there. Well, thank you for watching. I think we've gone through a couple of things there. But after all that, at least I can walk outside. Establish that light will come through a block, so you can build something, put lights behind it. Really don't think you're going to do the guns behind it. A block, that shouldn't work, but essentially that will work like that. Give you a very bad looking vehicle, but it's a vehicle that you can start with, so you can build from that and build basically anything. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll do more videos as we go through, and more tips and tricks, what to build, how to build it. Next one I'll build a small or minimal small vehicle, SV. Same sort of deal, like it'll have minimal movements, include an RCS, include the oxygen tank, and it'll be a bit easier because they actually come with a whole bunch of sealed units. So if we actually have a look here, for instance, there's my SV. You can get cockpits which actually are sealed airtight. Cockpit armoured one there. So a little bit easier to work with as far as that goes, and smaller block size. So the physical block size is about 1/3 of that. But we'll do a comparison and see how we go. Alright, thanks for watching. Be sure to like if you like the video, and subscribe and hit the bell when you want to find out more about what's happening, good game deals that are coming out, and more Empyrion tips and tricks. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.